Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss on some aspects of heart disease in dog. Today is a very auspicious day because this is the day 29th September. Every year this day is observed as World Heart Day. Actually, the purpose of this World Heart Day, though it is concerned with human population, still then the purpose of this is awareness, to create awareness among the people to prevent heart disease or disorder. World Federation of America and World Health Organization, they have come to a common point that let us celebrate World Heart Day in order to apprise the general people to become conscious about the heart, so that in future they do not get any heart problem or heart diseases. This is the picture remaining with human population. You will be surprised to hear that India is ranking first in heart disease and second is diabetes. So it's a very, very alarming population suffering from heart disease in India. So far the dog is concerned, since we are concerning with dog is concerned, we rarely seen cardiac diseases in dog in our early life, or when we were practicing or when we were students. But nowadays we find that after 20 or little earlier, the heart diseases is occurring in dog in a sizable proportion. The thing is this: why? We have grossly estimated that about 20 to 25% population of dog is suffering from heart disease in India. But how this has happened? One of the theory may be, though it is hypothesis, still then it has got some scientific bearings that dogs, if you consider the dogs of the street dogs or community dogs, they have got ability to move here and there and run here and there, because they have to remain conscious for the movement, right? And therefore their exercise is more, and therefore chance of heart disease less. Exercise is one of the important component which can prevent heart disease, right? Therefore the street dogs, they move about, they do lot of exercise, and therefore chance is very less, right? But nowadays it has become a fashion, or it has become a obsession to have a pet in a more or less every house or every flat. Now what happens in that case? Students used to go to school, mother used to go for a job, father used to go for a job, and that poor fellow remained confined with chain for a considerable period of time unless their owner comes. And therefore the remaining chains means there is less exercise. And if there is less exercise, means chance of possibility of heart disease more. Less exercise means more chance of getting fatty or obese. And the obese animal and less exercise animal, they suffer most in heart disease. And therefore dog is suffering from heart disease. Nowadays we are getting a lot of cases of heart diseases rather than earlier days. I remember a point in 1978 or so, first ECG was done in dog in Pantnagar Agriculture University in the Department of Medicine by Professor S.C. Joshi. I was one of the participants in that. They organized a summer institute to show us out the ECG machine and how to operate it. So we have seen it in 1978 under the leadership of Professor Dr. Joshi. He is no more, but we have seen it. But at that time, we were thinking how to make ECG in a living animal, because the animal will not cooperate. Animal will not cooperate as we say, or as we want, as we desire. They will not cooperate, and therefore we are thinking how to make ECG. But at that time we are giving little bit of sedation and then doing ECG. But nowadays no sedation is required, right? In the living animals, the ECG is being done. This is some history about your ECG. So for the heart disease of man and the dog, are they similar? No. There are some differences. What is the difference? Difference is this: in case of man, both structural and vascular changes are there. Structural means myocardial, maybe epicardium, maybe myocardium, maybe endocardium. There are some problems. Or there are some problems in the vessels. Most important vessels are the coronary arteries. There is blockage, atherosclerosis, right? But in case of dog, we seldom find your block or atherosclerosis. In case of man, there is blockage. For this reason, there is syncope, there is heart problem, palpitation, even death due to blockage. When the blockage exceeds 80-90%, in that case there is even death. But in dog, unfortunately or fortunately, nature has given the provision that the dog seldom suffer from vascular diseases. Right? Dogs suffer from structural disease, means myocardial or muscle problem is in the muscle or muscular problem. Heart muscles are damaged, heart valves are damaged, but not the vessels in that way. This is a great difference between the man and the dog. In dog, why? Somebody will ask why there is no muscular block, why there is no coronary artery diseases in dog in that way. The thing is this: God or nature has given a good provision for synthesis of vitamin C out of muscles in case of dog. This is very peculiar. Dog can synthesize vitamin C out of muscles, right? And this is the only significant property in case of dog. And whatever is needed out of vitamin C, that can be synthesized automatically from the muscles and other components of the dog. So for the sustenance of the life, whatever is needed, they get out of the vitamin C component. So this is the difference. So structural and vascular. In case of dog, structural damage is there, but vascular damage is rare. Again I tell you, in smaller bead, the problem is different, but in case of larger beads, mostly dogs suffer from cardiac myopathy. Now the questions arises, how we can classify the heart diseases in dog. So in heart disease, we can classify the heart disease as valvular disease. In the valvular disease, we may include pulmonary stenosis, aortic stenosis, right, mitral regurgitation and aortic regurgitation. These are the problems we can get in case of valvular diseases. Second in order is systolic function. So decreased systolic function, right? Decreased systolic function is seen in case of dilated cardiomyopathy, drug intoxication like halothinin, gene, then myocardial fibrosis and your myocarditis. Again, I was telling about decreased systolic function. Now I am telling about decreased diastolic function. Here you get hypertrophy, then myocardial fibrosis, pericardial effusion, hypoxia. Then there is arrhythmia, which is very common, sinoatrial syncope, complete heart block. Besides the above, we may also get atherosclerosis, very few cases, otherwise congenital heart defects and heart infection. So for the congenital heart defect is concerned, if you go to any cardiac clinics, you will find that even a small baby in the lap suffering, even an old man is also suffering. An infant is suffering because congenital defects. By birth, he is having some heart defects. Therefore, they have gone to the hospital for checkup. So this is very important. But in case of dog, we do not get in congenital heart disease to that extent. Now I am telling about the signs of heart diseases. Very important thing. Signs. What are the clinical signs? Or what are the clinical attributes a owner will appreciate or a doctor will appreciate? Most important is fainting. All on a sudden, dog may become fainting. Dog may faint. And there is difficulty in breathing or shortness in breathing. This is very, very difficult. Very, very important, because the shortness of breathing can be appreciated by the owner. Owner will say, come to a doctor and say, you see, my dog is not in a position to breathe properly. Difficulty in breathing. Then, if you allow the animal to exercise, the animal cannot move. Inability to exercise. Because when there is exercise, there is pain. In case of human being, if that fellow is suffering from heart disease, if he is allowed to walk, he cannot walk. He has to take some rest because there is pain. Inability to exercise. Then persistent dry cough. This is very important in case of dog. Persistent dry cough. Then this cough you may not get in that way during day, but in the night, cough worsen at night. At night, you will get a lot of cough, and owner will appreciate. Owner will observe a lot of cough in the night. So sometimes we ask whether it is coughing in daytime or night. So they will say the cough is also worsened at night. And there is another thing, fatigue and fainting. Animal is fatigued, not able to move, and all of a sudden it becomes faint. So fatigue and fainting is also one of the important cardinal signs. Then the animal is unable to sleep, difficulty in sleep, because there is pain and therefore the animal is unable to sleep. Then swollen abdomen. Here I tell you, swollen abdomen means whole abdomen may be swollen, and this swollen is not due to any other things. The swollen is due to fluid, mostly due to fluid retention, and that is ascites. We say ascites of cardiac origin, right? We say if you consider the ascites in dog, we say ascites due to hepatic origin, ascites due to renal origin, ascites due to cardiac origin. Here the ascites or fluid or abdominal distension or enlargement of the abdomen as a result of ascites is due to cardiac problem. In case of human being, you will find that the legs are swollen. That is due to the posture, because human posture is different, or dog's posture is lateral posture, therefore abdomen is swollen due to ascites. Fluid abdomen is there, swollen body, then restlessness while sleeping and rapid weight loss. And sometimes we have seen that one dog is moving, all of a sudden hindquarter is paralyzed or hindquarter is weakness. There is weakness of the hindquarter. It is moving, again it is sitting. That means hindquarter is weak and therefore it cannot walk. This is also seen in case of animal. And animal will try to breathe, that is increase the effort associated with breathing. There is shortness of breathing, therefore the animal will try to breathe with the abdomen, right? Abdominal breathing, right? It will utilize diaphragm and the abdominal muscles to respire, right? So that effort is there for breathing. And if you look at the arms are pale and the animal is completely depressed. Depression is important signs. So these are the clinical signs you will find, right? Most important thing is this, shortness of breathing, at the same time animal is unable to walk. If it walks and halt, because it cannot walk, because there is a lot of pain and it is unable to walk. Now I am going to give an overview on diagnosis, how we are going to diagnose such cases. First of all, the owner will tell about the different clinical manifestation as I have narrated. Most important is breathing problem. Because pain, the animal cannot express pain. But if you look at the animal, I will say that the animal is having some discomfort, and at the same time the breathing is mostly abdominal breathing, right? And there is shortness of breathing. This is very, very important clinical signs. If you get such animals, after observing the clinical signs, we can, but nowadays the digital X-ray has come up and that will give a very good picture. From X-ray you can see how much the heart is dilated. That can be felt through X-ray. So X-ray is one of the important component, I mean how much the heart muscles has extended, right? Either extended anteriorly or posteriorly or laterally. So we can appreciate the heart position or heart enlargement, right? Or dilatation of heart, dilated heart through X-ray, and digital X-ray is better than the normal conventional X-ray. Then we can go for ECG. ECG means electrocardiogram. That means here the electric pulsation, electric conduction, that can be appreciated through ECG. Nowadays ECG is going on and the doctors are interested to perform ECG in such cases, and it is possible to do ECG in dog also. About history or genesis of ECG I have already discussed, so you know it. Then you can go echocardiogram. Echocardiogram is also possible in dog. Through echocardiogram we can know about the ejection power. That means what is the condition of the muscles. Muscles are in a position to flow the blood or not, eject the blood or not. That means efficiency of the muscles could be obtained. The efficiency of the muscles could be judged through echocardiogram. So it's a ejection power. If the ejection power is alright, then the animal is safe. If the ejection power is very small, the animal is not safe, and therefore ejection power has to be increased with the help of pacemaker or something like that. Right? Ejection power has to be increased. So we can know about the ejection power with the help of echocardiograph or echocardiogram. Then we can go for blood examination or hematology. In hematology we can do CBC to know about the status of various components, especially hemoglobin, blood, right? Whether the animal is anemic or not. That means system is getting adequate blood or not. Then very important thing is lipid profiles. Lipid profiles is very important. We also do the lipid profiles by keeping the animal in fasting position. Right? 24 hours fasting, then we collect the blood and go for lipid profile test. In the lipid profile, we have got cholesterol, is very important. Cholesterol, and generally cholesterol within 200 milligram per dl is alright. If it exceeds, then the question comes. Otherwise, cholesterol level should be 200 within 20 milligram per dl. Then we have got HDL, high density lipoprotein, and here I tell you there are two types of cholesterol. One is lipid, one is high density lipoprotein, another is low density lipoprotein, and third is your very low density lipoprotein. We say HDL, LDL, VLDL, right? But here I tell you HDL is the good cholesterol, but LDL and VLDL are the bad cholesterol. If the good cholesterol level is more, then the chance is less, right? Heart problem is very less, and therefore we should measure the cholesterol level, and it is HDL if it is more than 40 milligram is good, and if the LDL is less than 70 milligram it is good, and VLDL less than 40 milligram is good. More thing is this, we must see the ratio between good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. If the good cholesterol is alright or more, then chance of blockage is less. Chance of solubility is more. Right? That's why cholesterol component has to be taken into consideration. But sometimes we want to know, through cholesterol you get whether it is a blockage or not. That is, the atherosclerosis has occurred or not. You can understand through your lipid profiles. Lipid profiles helps you to understand how much block is there within the vessels, right? How much block in the vessels we can appreciate with the help of HDL, or we can apprehend that my animal is likely to suffer from your cholesterol problem, or there is chance of blockage, or there is chance of atherosclerosis, right? That is possible. But now the question comes, how you assess the cardiac muscles component as a whole? What are the chemicals by which you can know that the heart muscles are all right? Or there is no heart muscles are completely all right. Right? It has got enough strength to eject the blood. How do you know? We then take the blood and measure the CPK level. We go for the CPK level. And if the CPK level is alright, then the heart muscle is alright. Or we can go for troponin level. If the troponin level is alright, it will indicate about the death of myocardial cells. Whether the myocardial cells are in a death, how much myocardial cells are dead, and how much myocardial cells are active, we can assess with the help of a test known as troponin test. One thing I forgot to tell you, triglyceride is also very important, and triglyceride level should be less than 150 milligram per TL. Right? So we can go for CPK, we can go for troponin to know the structural components of the heart. That means myocardial cells are, how much myocardial cells are active. That means this is known as leakage markers. One thing I forgot to tell you, triglyceride is also very important, and triglyceride level should be less than 150 milligram per TL. Right? So we can go for CPK, we can go for troponin to know the structural components of the heart. That means myocardial cells are, how much myocardial cells are active. That means this is known as leakage markers. Then I go for the treatment. So far the treatment is concerned, doctor is the best judge to treat the animals. Principal treatment includes to remove the heartworm burden and other stress factor. One thing I tell you, in man, in the heart, there is no heartworm. But in dog or canine family or feline family, one peculiar thing is that roundworm remains or lost within the heart, even heart vessels. Heartworm. That's why there is problem in the heart. Right? There is derangements in the heart. Heartworm. And therefore, we can go for test of heartworm through blood or through your laboratory test. The laboratory test we make a test known as modified Knott technique, by which we know the microphilia in the blood. If you get heartworm and the animal is suffering from dry cough and early exhaustion, in heartworm what will happen, I tell you, cough will be dry cough, and animal when moves, it can move, there is exhaustion. So if you get heartworm, so doctor has to go for treatment of the heartworm and some supportive treatment for the heartworm. So one has to clear the heartworm burden. So remove the heartworm burden because it is a very important stress factors, heartworm. That has to be cleared, otherwise the animal may die. We have seen when we have made post-mortem of various animals, suspecting that it may have heartworm, we have a bunch of heartworm within the heart. Right? That's very important. Then we will make some medication to help the heart to work and correct the irregular heartbeat. We will have to give some medicine for that. And we should have to give some medicine to slow the fluid build in heart. That means there is no pericardial effusion, pericardial water, right? Pericardial effusion is not there, that's why we will give some medicine. And so far the salt is concerned, salt should be given very low salt or no salt. low salt diet or no salt diet, right? So that to decrease the fluid in the dog body. We can use some diuretics to remove the abdominal fluid, parasitic fluid. And if there is some valvular defects, you will have to take the help of surgery. And valvular defects, nowadays Doppler is also available. With the help of Doppler also you can know about the condition of the valve, and accordingly the valve treatment has to be done. And I tell you, though it is not done here, but in some developed countries, when the conduction power or ejection power is less, judged by the echocardiogram, in that cases pacemaker can also be inserted in the heart, insertion of pacemaker in the heart. This is more or less about treatment. I am not mentioning about the drug itself. It is the discretion of the doctor. Doctor will prescribe about the drug and the owner has to follow his or her advice for cardiac problem. Now I am going to discuss about preventive aspect. How to prevent cardiac diseases. This World Cardiac Day is observed with the intention that people will take precaution how to avoid cardiac problem. So prevention is better than cure. That also holds good in cardiac diseases. Most important thing in case of human being is lifestyle modification. But one thing I tell you, lifestyle modification is nothing but to minimize the stress on the heart. But in case of dog also, we can minimize the stress of the dog. I have made a video on that, how to stress in dog, how to reduce it. That is very important. Stress is one of the important attributes causing heart diseases. Then we will have to provide, here we should give less punishment, less agony, less tension, less stress to the dog, so that dog may lead a comfortable life without having any problem or ailments in the heart. Now we will have to go for provide a nutritional diet. Now I tell you, nutrient is very, very important for, in case of human being, is very, very important to minimize blockage. And that's why there is saying, provide the nutrient as needed so that the animal may stay healthy and happy. And if you give more nutrition, the animal will become obese. In case of dog also, we find that some animals are very, very obese. So we will have to give satiety diet or anti-obesity diet. And I tell you, anti-obesity diet means we have to, if you want to give milk, so it should be toned milk. If you want to give food, it should have less sugar, it should have more fiber. Diet should have more fiber. Fiber actually minimize the cholesterol level. Therefore, we will have to go for that. And most important thing in case of dog is that we should not confine the animal for a considerable period of time. We must give adequate exercise to the dog. But one thing I tell you, many of the owners, they are very sedentary in life and they do not give exercise. Though dog wants to go outside, but that fellow is sleeping. That will not do. Owner has to go with the dog for exercise. If he is not in a position to do, he will have to appoint someone so that he can make the exercise. But I tell you, The handler, sometimes the handlers are good, they are doing good exercise, but some handlers are lazy and they do not give adequate exercise. Also, that point has to be meticulously searched and observed whether the animal is given adequate exercise or not. Exercise is very important. We can give exercise in the form of walking, in the form of running, in the form of playing, in the form of swimming, or any dog-related sports. Right? Therefore, what I want to mean is that dogs should not be made obese. Just like human being, doctor used to say, oh, you reduce your weight. Here also, we just say to the owner that you try to reduce the weight of the dog. Right? The dog is becoming obese, so fat has to be minimized. How to burn the calories? But calorie can only be burned through exercise. Right? Exercise is very, very important in canine population, like of human beings. So that is very, very important. Now I tell you, some commercial diet is also available. Anti-obese diet is available. You can provide that diet also to the dog to minimize the cardiac obesity problem. Again I tell you, some cardiac diet is also available in proprietary form. Right? In the market we get cardiac diet, so we can use cardiac diet also in certain cases. And again I tell you, oral hygiene has to be seen. Dental problem, because dental problem, we know the dental problem, how the dental problem is related to heart is the question. But if you go to for extraction of any teeth, having heart problem, doctor will ask you or advise you, please go to a cardiac doctor or chest specialist or cardiologist and give his opinion, then come to me, because it has got a good bearing. When extraction of tooth may even collapse the heart, right? And therefore this point has to be, or whatever drug you are taking, that drug may have to withdraw for some time in order to extract the teeth, otherwise bleeding will continue. Extraction bleeding will continue. Right? So that point is also important. So you should consult a dental surgeon prior to making any surgery of the heart, or dental surgeon for a heart, or cardiac surgeon for dental problem. Right? Cardiac surgeon for any dental problem. So maintain the oral hygiene and correct the dental problem as far as possible. So this is in a nutshell about the overview on cardiac problem in dog in relation to human cardiac problem. Thank you.
Hope you are liking our video today. If yes, like, share and comment. Also subscribe our channel. We will be coming soon with a new interesting video very soon.